Welcome everyone to Fergo and the Freak. I'm your host, the glorious LeagueFreak, and we have a breaking news episode because today, apparently, the Brisbane Broncos sat down with Payne and the whole idea was to lock him down for a long-term deal because after the last season, where there was a lot of talk about him going to that Phantom Rugby Union competition, the Broncos just wanted to sort it out, get him locked down in a long-term deal. It seemed like that the two sides were just not even in a rush to do it. And so they thought they'll sit down just before the season starts and sort that out. Well, Payne sat down with the Broncos and informed them, and this is the breaking news, that he has signed a 3-year deal to play for the South Sydney Rabbitohs from the 2027 season onwards. They must have felt heartbroken. What a terrible, terrible amount of news for the Broncos to get just as their season starts. It's come out of left field. There were no whispers about it. There was nothing about him going to the Rabbitohs. It's a great signing for the Rabbitohs. They locked down probably the best prop in the game at the moment for 3 years, and he's going to be coming into his prime. I mean, he's a great player right now, but he's still only young for a prop. It's pretty incredible to think that they're at least going to get 3 of his best seasons out of him. What Souths do with their lineup is going to be interesting to see, because I think that their lineup has been a bit of a dog's dinner over the last few years, and I would suggest that they're paying way too much for Whiten. There's the question about whether they re-sign Latrell Mitchell to a long-term deal, considering that he doesn't play that many games for them, unfortunately. He's a great player, but he just doesn't play enough for them. And, this could all have a bearing on it, because Haas would have only gone south if they paid him a lot of money. I would suggest that from next season, Haas is going to be the highest paid player in the NRL until such time as Nathan Cleary signs his next contract. So this is incredible news. It's great for Souths. It's terrible for the Broncos, especially when you consider that they're going to lose Haas, and it only comes, a few days after Tino Fa'asuamaleaui recommitted to staying at the Titans. It's just such a huge move. I can't believe it. It's come out of nowhere. I thought that Haas was going to re-sign with the Broncos long term, and that was going to be it. So, never a dull moment in rugby league. Unbelievable. One of the things this does bring up for me, though, is that it's very sad that, you can get a team like the Broncos who have literally, developed players that they ended up winning the premiership with. Reynolds was one that they didn't develop. They signed him from South, ironically. But most of their players they brought through their own junior system and developed them from youngsters. They've had Payne for years now. And it's just sad that when you get to that point, you win a premiership and you've done it with the team that you developed, straight away that team starts getting ripped apart because of the salary cap. And I think that there really needs to be some sort of look at the way that the cap works in terms of players that you develop from such a young age. How they will do that to make it fair is anyone's guess. But I just think that it's sad that the Broncos lose a key part of their premiership winning team immediately, basically. As soon as they win the premiership, they're going to lose, one of their best players. I support the cap. I think we need the cap. The cap helps, it stops teams from spending themselves to death. That's the first thing. It is great for talent equalisation, and this is another example of why we don't need a draft, because a team from the top of the competition will lose talent to a team from, down at the bottom of the competition. But yeah, I just think that it's sad that, you win a premiership and it's fantastic. It's absolutely great. But, you are immediately rewarded with having your team torn apart, and that's a bad part of things. So, yeah, how about that? That's some huge news coming out just a couple of hours ago, I think it would have been. Feel free to email us at podcast@leaguefreak.com with what you think about this move. Good on Payne Haas for getting so much money. Good on the Rabbitohs for getting a foundation piece. But I feel sorry for the Broncos. So we'll talk about this on the next episode of Fergo and the Freak, and I'll catch you soon.